All right, today we're diving into something really interesting, a clash of titans in the crypto world. You've got Bitcoin, the OG, the one that started it all. And then you have this challenger, Pi Network, which is playing a completely different game. And look, this is about way more than just two different coins. We're talking about two totally different visions for what the future of money could even look like.
I mean, you really can't overstate this. Before Bitcoin came along, the whole idea of sending money to someone across the world without a bank, that was basically sci-fi. It just kicked the door wide open, creating this whole new asset class. Suddenly, everybody, from governments down to your grandma, had to stop and rethink what money even is.
And then you've got Pi Network. It kind of looked at the whole world that Bitcoin built and asked this one simple, powerful question. Hey, what about the rest of us? What about the billions of people who don't have these crazy powerful supercomputers for mining? Pi's entire reason for being is to just tear down those walls.
So that's what this is all about. What is the real difference here? On one hand, you have this proven giant. On the other, an unproven but really interesting experiment. So what really sets them on these two completely different tracks? All right, let's get into it.
Okay, so first up, Bitcoin. And to really get Bitcoin, you gotta think of it as a solution to a huge, huge problem. See, before 2009, computer scientists had this thing called the double spending problem. Basically, how do you stop someone from just copying a digital dollar and spending it over and over again? Bitcoin was the first really elegant answer to that question. And a magic trick that made it all work? Decentralization. It's a big word, but the idea is simple. For the very first time, you didn't have to trust a bank or a company. Instead, trust was spread out across this massive, global network of computers. No single person, no single company was in charge. That was the absolute genius of it. But, that genius, it came with a price tag, and a pretty big one at that. Creating a system where you don't have to trust anyone meant you needed an incredible amount of work to keep it secure. And that led to some massive and probably unintended side effects. So here's how Bitcoin keeps itself safe. Think of it like a giant global race. Computers all over the planet are competing 24/7 to solve this incredibly difficult math puzzle. The first one to crack it gets to add the next block of transactions to the chain, and for their trouble, they get rewarded with new Bitcoin. This whole system, this race, is called proof of work, and it's what makes the network so incredibly tough to attack. But that constant global race, it has a staggering side effect. Just look at that number, over 150 terawatt hours per year. To put that into perspective for you, that is more electricity than entire countries. We're talking places like Argentina or Sweden use in a whole year. That's the price of proof. And when you see a number like that, it forces you to ask some tough questions, right? Like, is this really sustainable? Is a system that ends up concentrating power with people who can afford giant warehouses full of computers and massive energy bills, is that truly decentralized? And it's that question that really opened the door for new experiments. And that is exactly where Pi Network enters the picture. It was basically designed from the ground up to be the anti-Bitcoin in a way. It's an attempt to solve those exact problems, the crazy energy use and the fact that most people can't participate. And their approach is, it's night and day. Forget about complex hardware or insane electricity bills. The whole process is designed to be ridiculously simple. You're basically proving you're a real person by just tapping a button on an app each day. And you help secure the network by vouching for a handful of people you actually know and trust. So you see, Pi's real innovation, it isn't really technical, it's social. The whole project is a bet on building a global cryptocurrency by just making it so easy for literally anyone with a phone to get involved.
Okay, so we've got the two different philosophies down. Now let's really put them head to head and see how their core ideas stack up.
And this right here, this is the absolute heart of the difference between them. Think about it. Bitcoin creates trust by making people burn real-world resources, tons of computing power and electricity. It trusts the math. Pi Network is testing a totally different idea. Can you build trust through a web of real human relationships, through your security circle? It's a bet on trusting people. So let's break this down point by point. First, how they agree on things, their consensus. Bitcoin uses that super energy-hungry proof of work. Pi uses something based on social trust, which is way more efficient. Then accessibility. Bitcoin is hard, right? You need expensive, specialized gear. Pi? Super easy. All you need is a smartphone. The energy use? Well, we've seen that. It's not even a contest, it's a massive difference. And finally, and this is a big one, their current state. Bitcoin is live. It's a globally traded asset worth hundreds of billions of dollars. Pi, on the other hand, is still in what's called an enclosed mainnet. That means it's not on public exchanges yet, and its real-world value is, for now, totally speculative.
So where does all this leave us? Well, what we have here are two projects with two radically different answers to the exact same question. How do you build a digital currency for the whole world?
And at the end of the day, it really just boils down to a trade-off. With Bitcoin, you get something that's been tested for over a decade. It has proven security, a brand everyone knows, and real, tangible value. It's the battle-hardened veteran. Then you have Pi Network. It's got this incredible vision for making crypto accessible to everyone and a huge community, but its security and its whole economic model are still, mostly theoretical. They haven't been truly tested out in the wild yet. It's the ambitious rookie with a ton of potential.
And that leaves us with one final and maybe the most important question of all. When we look to the future, what's more important for a global currency? Is it the raw mathematical certainty that comes from immense computational power? Or is it the power that comes from genuine human connection? The answer to that? Well, that's probably going to define the next chapter for digital money.